Hello, so I wanted to go over the results of the Iowa caucuses. Here I'm looking at the Republicans, but first I want to go to the Democrats and point out something. I said Bernie Sanders several times to people I've spoken to, and where I'm living in France would be called a communist, not a socialist. And I said he would do much better than what people were saying, and that Hillary Clinton might actually lose the primaries, and it looks that way from the results here in Iowa. So here you can see this is CNN, you can see the different counties that have been taken by Clinton or Bernie Sanders. In 6 cases, Caucus was won by Clinton over a coin toss, for different reasons. But anyhow, Bernie Sanders got 49%, so what we would call a communist in Europe, far left government getting involved in the economy, and what has been destroying our job creation here in France. Got 49%. He only gets 21 delegates because of the way the caucus works for the national convention, and Clinton gets 24, but that 1% difference is important, especially when you notice that O'Malley got 1% and no delegates. So if O'Malley were to drop out, most of those votes could possibly go to Bernie Sanders, or could also go to Clinton, or just disappear. Anything is possible. Next, in New Hampshire, I'm guessing Sanders will get an even bigger percentage because being from Vermont, right next door, give him an advantage. Clinton being from New York, which is also right next door, it's kind of give and take. You don't know really. Okay, back to the Republicans, because that's more complicated. I couldn't imagine a Midwestern state voting for Trump. They didn't. They voted for Cruz, 28%, so he gets 8 delegates. Tied for second in delegate amounts, Trump and Marco Rubio, 24%, 23% respectively. This is an interesting thing because Cruz paints himself as a conservative, so that makes sense that a conservative would win in a Midwestern state. I wanted to point out that 3 of the top contenders are of Hispanic descent. One angry white guy. And then 4th we have Carson with 3 delegates, 9% of the votes. African-American neurosurgeon with no prior experience in politics. It's also interesting, the Republican Party looking for outsiders. Just the case of Cruz within Congress and Carson with regard to politics. And then we have Rand Paul. Ron Paul's son gets 4% of the votes, 1 delegate. Has half the votes Carson has. And then Jeb Bush, 3%, 1 delegate, that apparently paid a lot for. So, and down below, kind of have Santorum, Chris Christie, and Huckabee in the back with very few votes. Kasich, Fiorina, almost tied. All of these had specialties and interesting views. Fiorina was good for big business, give a hard line on military issues. Kasich talked about balancing the budget a lot. Huckabee was a Baptist pastor, was on Fox News. Definitely your more of an evangelical type vote there. Most of that vote, I think, went to Cruz and Rubio. Chris Christie is kind of a more liberal Republican, which not interesting at all for a Midwestern state, but he would have a better chance on the East Coast. And Santorum, working class Republican, values there, kind of very specialized issue, not exactly something you'd find in Iowa much. It's more agricultural than blue collar. But we'll see if he continues or not. So it's kind of my gnostic there. I think Trump will lose more and more going east to New Hampshire. But at the same time, being from New York, like Hillary Clinton, he could push up a bit. And we'll see who wins the next debates as well. All that. This is completely up for grabs, especially between Cruz, Trump, Rubio. Even Carson could make a comeback, although I doubt that. And Rand Paul and Bush will probably stay about where they are. Maybe go down a bit further as Fiorina, Kasich, Huckabee, Christie, or Santorum take up some momentum, but I doubt that. So we'll probably see a trio between Cruz, Trump, and Rubio, and then a fight between Cruz and Rubio. It's going to be a strong showing for Republican Hispanics this year, it looks like. Well, that's kind of my analysis on this. Have a good day.